India is one of the youngest countries in the world. Nearly half its population is under the age of 25. Yet, education, the foundation of that demographic promise, remains chronically underfunded. In Budget 2025, the government allocated 1.28 lakh crore rupees to education and announced AI centers and skilling hubs. But overall spending has stayed between 3.9 and 4.6% of GDP, well below the 6% target promised under the National Education Policy 2020. As India heads into Union Budget 2026, one question looms large. Will education become more accessible or quietly more expensive? There has been progress. India's gross enrollment ratio has risen to 28.4% with a target of 50% by 2035. Access has improved, but quality and affordability remain uneven. Many institutions say research funding remains stalled. Skilling programs have expanded, but they have not consistently translated into better employability. Critics argue that Budget 2025 looked strong on paper but fell short on structural reform, accountability, and outcome based funding, especially in Tier 2 and Tier 3 regions. Now, the sector is asking for better architecture, not just bigger numbers. Key expectations include faster implementation of NEP 2020, stronger teacher training and faculty development, and deeper industry academia collaboration. There is also growing emphasis on future ready skills, especially AI, data, and emerging technologies, backed by sustained funding rather than one off announcements. One major watchpoint is tax treatment. At present, interest paid on education loans qualifies for deduction under Section 80E, but only under the old tax regime and only for 8 years. Stakeholders are seeking two changes: retention of this benefit and its extension to the new tax regime, which an increasing number of taxpayers are choosing. Affordability remains a bigger concern. There is strong demand to expand the Central Scheme for Interest Subsidy, which covers interest during the moratorium period, the years when students are studying and not earning. There are also calls for lower or capped interest rates, especially for professional and vocational courses, to reduce pressure in the early working years. Another silent hurdle is collateral. Banks often require property or security for higher education loans, particularly for overseas studies. For first generation learners, this becomes an immediate barrier, limiting access even before merit or potential is considered. So, the key questions going into Budget 2026 are clear. Will higher education allocations rise meaningfully beyond last year's 50,078 crore rupees? Will funding under schemes like PM Usha be linked to outcomes and not just announcements? And will tax relief and interest subsidies expand, given the limits of fiscal space? Now, much of this will depend on how the government balances ambition with budgetary constraints. Stay with us as we track what Budget 2026 delivers and what it leaves behind.